Lizzo apparently is heartbroken and she's hurt over the backlash she's receiving from her new song with Cardi B. I believe it's called Rumors. And so this happened this past weekend, but she went on Instagram and she recorded herself crying, talking about she was being bullied online and she was she felt like she was being attacked racially and people were fatophobic because they were talking.
That sounds funny.
Fatophobic. I didn't. If it was already a thing, cool. But I'd never heard that before. But people were saying like, we're backing her and being like, oh my God, this is so wrong, so hurtful and everything. And while, of course, not condoning the bullying and shit because that isn't right, and of course, any sane person shouldn't do that. My thought is, how Lizzo's been a celebrity how long now?
A while.
You don't think she would be used to people not fucking with her in certain situations or whatever? So do you think, like, recording yourself crying and everything, do you think it comes off as disingenuous or like you're trying to now get support?
Well, I know every time I'm tearing up and crying.
I'm always like, oh my goodness, what is he doing? Oh,
Mark, what's wrong?
I'm always recording myself and letting the world know.
It's okay. Do we need to talk?
Can we talk later? Yeah, she should be fucking used to it, especially with the stuff she did a couple years ago where she was just going to like basketball games with her ass out and like just bare naked and crap like that. Like you do this shock shit, you're gonna be met with like backlash. Maybe it's because she didn't do some shock shit. It was just because of the song, and maybe she felt like really connected to the song. I don't know what the song's about, but
I haven't heard it.
Either
Rumors,
way,
I'm
it's
expecting.
just
Rumors. I'm expecting.
Oh, okay.
Just guessing.
Yeah.
Just a guess.
You right.
But it's just like, what do you want? Sympathy? What do you want? Like people to rally behind you? Is this like a ploy to pump up the numbers? This is a marketing scheme, like we always talk about. It's just this marketing and shit like that. Let's get the
people.
I don't know what you call it. Like their PC name it, but let's get the fat community behind us and like to boost up our numbers and shit like that. Like, what is it really? Because who fucking really films themselves crying? Who really wants people to see that? Like, let people see that moment, that weakness.
Right.
No. So I feel like anytime someone would like you're recording yourself crying, like you said, it's. I know when I'm upset, I'm not doing like, oh, where's my phone? I need to do this. No, right. I'm like, I'm gonna let it out. I'm gonna do my whole Cuba Gooding in the house, and then I feel better. But no, I feel like it's a ploy. If you're gonna go on camera, especially when you're a celebrity, to go, hey, I'm being blasted by everyone right now. I am not saying that celebrities can't have emotions or feelings like that, but I feel like you're doing it for a reason, and what's that reason?
I think with what she was doing, like everything she was blaming, the whole like racism, the whole fat phobic thing. I feel like when you say that yourself, you're basically saying like I'm not taking responsibility for this failure that's going on right now, and it's not failure by like our standards, failure by her standards. Like she feels like she's failing. Oh, it's this reason. This is why it's failing. You have to let your fan base start that shit and whatever. And she has enough money to where, you know, those people can start trends. They have the money to be like, hey, I need all these people to start hashtagging this shit and become a trend. Like, she didn't have to do that shit. So it's just like, it's like, it makes her look, first of all, dumb. It makes her look weak. It makes her look like all the stuff she was like, oh, I'm proud and happy to do this shit. It's like, so you're not always. Right. Which could be great for her. Like, because you could be like, hey, look, even... Yeah, human, exactly. Like, even with me, like, being body positive, all that crap, everything, I don't really know what she stands for and all that stuff, but I know that's the one. You'd be like, we have moments of where it, like, gets to us. No matter how strong we are, no matter how proud we are, like, enough of it comes our way, we're going to break down and
everyone has
moments.
that moment, yeah.
So it could have been spun that way, but, you know, when it's like this, it's just like, oh, it's a marketing ploy. But people fall for it, so I can't blame her either, you know?
Yeah, I mean... That's how it comes off, and it came off to me. My big thing with this is I remember once this came out, she was trending, and everyone was obviously running to her defense and saying like, "How could you?" and everything like that. Number one, this scares me because on the mental health side, we talked about it last week. If she really is hurt by this stuff, I think there is a bigger issue why you have to run the social media to get your make you feel better. It's like who's on your team or who's in your circle that should be doing there, or who's not there.
Who's her soulmate? Being there for her.
Exactly, right? So you shouldn't have to, because that's a very dangerous game, running to the public for, like, support, because as we know, the world is the world. One day they'll love you, one day they'll hate you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's number one. Number two, think about this that is really odd to me is just when you look at it at the end of the day, since when do we have to like your song?
Yeah.
You know, like, this is how this comes off to me. It comes off like, oh, there's people who aren't liking my song. They're hurting my feelings. I think this stems from a lot of stuff we talk about off camera a lot of weeks when it comes to, like, raising kids or just trying to teach the younger people how to be adults, right? We switch to a very positive thing, which is we like to tell kids that, hey, you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do today. You, like, literally the sky's the limit for you, right? However, I felt like when it was said back then, it was also said with, like, you can do all that. However, please be mindful that, you know, fuck people, do what you want to do. Now it's just said, like, you can be whatever. And the whole idea of, like, people cannot fuck with it is never tell it to people anymore. So now they go out there being like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And then once someone doesn't like it, for some reason, and like in a lot of people's mind, they go like, oh, I'm being hated on, I'm being this and that. And it's like, no, that's the world. That's always the world. It's always been the world. It's never going to change. The idea that you're going to do something that everyone's going to universally like is insane. We have fucking presidents that are long dead that had super high approval rates at the time. Now, 30 years later, people are like, that dude fucking sucked. Or he didn't do anything and everything, right? And like, that's what scares me so much, because it continues to build that mindset, in my opinion, which is, oh, I feel bad because someone's talking about me. Please, guys, make me feel better. And, like, really, in a sense, let's drown out these people's opinion.
Right, which that's a very fragile psyche. Like, once if she like, let's say she loses the fame and people start hating her, and then that community that had her back dwindles down. Right. Yes, disappears or dwindles down to, like, they can't outcry the haters, right?
Right.
Where's that gonna leave her? Like, what's she gonna do to recover? You know? And all this, every time we talk about something like this, I always bring up the Recess episode. Mm-hmm. Fucking when TJ finds out that one kid in school doesn't like him.
Right.
And the whole episode is like, during the recess, he's like just trying every little thing. Like, I'm gonna give him gifts. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And every time he gave him something, he was like, oh, cool, man, thanks. And then he asked the kid, he's like, do you like me now? He's like, nope. And it was just like, just when you accept that just some people aren't gonna like you, why even give them the time of day?
Right.
Just focus on your fans that are giving you the attention, that are, like, fucking loving you. Like, there's a reason why, like in high school, fucking let's say all the people that were being rowdy, assholes in class, like causing distraction, shit like that, teachers would flock to them, give them more attention, give them more, like, excuses for shit, give them more second chances, all that crap,
right,
than they would someone that's just doing their work and not causing distraction.
Right.
It's just like, why would they stop? Why would your haters stop if now they're getting attention from this shit?
Yeah, now they know it affects you.
Yeah,
so exactly. I'm gonna fucking go crazy now and say all this shit. And that's, to me, it sends, that's what I'm saying, where it sends the bad message, because, cool, people came to your defense, your fans can do that. But also, you gotta have thick skin to do what you do. You can't just, you know, there's no way you got to this point being that sensitive because people are saying bad things about you. You know what I mean? Because at her level, when has people not said bad shit about her? You know?
This would be different if it was something like, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you saw the new trilogy of Star Wars, the sequel one. You seen it? Remember, I think the episode 8 or something. I can't remember. They introduced the Asian character.
Okay.
And remember,
how no one liked her.
Yeah, but like for no reason.
Yeah.
Just because like the movie wasn't even out yet, but she was getting harassed online, just all this racial shit and blah blah blah, to the point where she just like left social media.
Right.
Which again, that's what Lizzo should have done, like leave social media. But if it was something like that, where it was just like you literally did nothing yet, and people are just giving you shit like that, that's when you could be like, do something like this, like what the fuck is going on, guys? Like all this shit and whatever.
Well, it stemmed because she had an action figure. And they're like, well, why should there an action figure? And it's like...
Man, you know, it's just like, yeah, but that's when you could be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what the fuck is going on in the world that, like, I haven't even done anything yet. The movie's not even out yet. You saw a fucking toy or a commercial and already, like...
You don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, is Cardi B said anything on it?
Yeah, Cardi B came to her defense and she was talking
Stop
about
crying.
no,
Queen
but
of Beach.
but she was talking about how well the song's performing and all these things, and to like not listen to these people. And I was just sitting there. I mean, from the clip I saw, I was just like, okay, but I don't understand how like these people who are probably fucking losers can affect someone who's like super duper up. Like it's crazy to me to think like that. I know a lot of people are gonna say like, well, you know, it doesn't. You're not like her, and you're not blah blah blah. But I'm just like, from just a clear standpoint, there's a person that is not in front of you. They're a million miles away. It's a comment. It's words.
How old is she?
Lizzo, I have no idea. I can look it up.
Is she around like our
Probably
age or
your age.
younger?
Or younger.
Because I would
Probably.
say, like, with this generation, yeah, that shit that's affected. Like, even with boxers, like, I see it where, like, a Devin Haney.
She
or
is 33.
Your age.
Yeah, I would
It's in
I
that
would still say,
wheelhouse.
like, because I think we're a little different than
Right.
the average 30-year-old. But I would say, because, like, Devin Haney, boxers, these are, like, fighters, right? Devin
Right.
Haney, Ryan Garcia's, the younger ones, Tanks is. When they have like a bad performance on a thing and they get on boxing Twitter, they get shitted on.
Yeah,
Or even if they won the fight, all of a sudden that shit gets to them and they're going
They'll
back and forth with
defend
somebody. Yeah, they'll defend it, and the next fight, like Devin Haney's last fight, he was like, after that shitty performance, the next fight he was going at it. But
Right.
I think that has to do with people talking shit on him. A little healthier way of doing it, because like he actually worked hard and like, I'm gonna shut him up this way.
Right.
Didn't cry on Twitter and everything like that, but. I think these this generation and younger, like,
But see, that was my generation. We were told, like, don't cry. Prove
Right.
them wrong.
Right.
Work hard, and then be like, what?
right, success is the best revenge or whatever.
Right, and that is totally true. However, in this instance, there is no like opposition. You know what I mean?
Right,
like Devin Haney, if he put on a bad performance and people were nitpicking certain things that he could have did better, okay, see your point. I see where I can get better. They're just saying that they don't like the song. That has nothing to do with your talent. Has nothing to do with your fucking ability. They don't like the song. Like,
Yeah.
so, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, but there's people who do like it. So that's why I'm saying it gets weird, because it's like, all right, so the people who do like it, are you like, I don't care about y'all. I have to get these people who don't like it. But I'm like, they're not gonna like anything that you do. It's clear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
you know what it is? It's the fucking thing that I do with people to not make them my friends. The I'm gonna be nice to you and like whatever, give you attention and shit like that. But because now you think you got me, you take me for granted and you won't want to talk to me anymore. So I get what I want at the end.
Right.
So now it's the same thing. It's like, oh, she has these fans that love the song. I don't give a shit. You already like the song. I need to get these people on my side.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit, and it's like it's always pining for the popular kid in class
Yeah.
or your high school, whatever. That's never gonna give you the time of day. It's like, just fucking like shower the fucking people that actually fuck with you with love and affection, and like give them something to talk about. You know.
I mean, to me, that's the best way to go about it. But of course, a lot of people, when they hear this, who knows what they'll say, or they might feel like she was justified in doing that. Because a lot of people say, you can't dictate how someone takes something, which I do understand, right? But my just thing is your reaction to certain things that are inevitable. That's like, someone basically being like, hey, you're gonna die, and be like, what, I'm gonna die? What? No, I have to stop this somehow. It's like, no, it's gonna happen, man. Like the same. That's why I'm just like, it's so confusing, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's been a Grammy nominated artist at this point.
Yeah.
There have been people who have said that they don't fuck with you. So why now is it like, you know what, guys, this is too much?
Yeah. It sucks because if I was someone where it was just like all about body positivity, plus size, whatever, all that crap, man, once you take on that mantle, you have to show a strong front no matter what. So like when you have those moments, it has to be kept quiet, because there's a lot of people that rely on you to like, oh, she's still going, she's still strong. I have to, like, you're no longer a person anymore. You're a fucking symbol, and symbols have to be above everything, which sucks, like that. It sucks to like, you can't have these human moments in front of people, but that's basically what you took on when you started doing this shit. But not a lot of people think about it that way. People just think like this. She did this, and she didn't give a shit about the whole body positivity back.
Right, and
all
that's
that crap.
And that's what sucks, because going back to the fat shaming episode that we had or whatever, we were literally talking about like the healthy aspects of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the main point of it. But her being okay with her weight and everything is great.
Yeah.
Like, we have no issue with that. But when it's stuff like this, then it makes a lot of people who are in that community probably feel like, so you don't want to be that then.
Yeah, like you these comments do get to you, and we can't brush them off. And like, if
you tell us one thing to do,
yeah,
but you do the stuff that bothers us.
Yeah, like if these hateful comments are getting to you, like, what are they gonna do? What's gonna happen when they come at me like that? Like, I don't have this money to like rely on like all these friends.
I don't have this fame or this talent.
Exactly, all this shit. People like all this whole community like to rally me up when I'm feeling sad. You know, it's like. It sucks, but she's not allowed to feel bad. She's not allowed to feel sad in the public eye. And I know how that sounds and everything, but again, as a symbol.
A lot of this shit will always boil down to me to social media. If you just took it away, I feel like a lot of these issues just wouldn't happen. But because it's so, for the younger generation, it's such a big thing in their mind, it's like they have to prove this imaginary fucking person wrong.
Yeah,
but they don't exist. It's like you're always going to be chasing something that you can't catch.
Yeah.
It sucks because we I feel like the three of us have found like a way to like a couple weeks ago when we had that person just commenting on the video like all this shit and whatever, we found a way to like make it playful. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna have fun, this is gonna be fun, whatever, like I'm not gonna get mad and this is just something fun to talk about, whatever, and all this shit. But most of these people get really fucking heated. They get really fucking heated when they're going back and forth on the comment section.
And I know the way this is sounding, it's sound like a very like, just do this and you'll be fine. And again, like
just relax,
just calm down, man. A lot like what you said. I know a lot of people probably can't do that, and I get that too. But also, anything that I feel like is harmful to yourself, you probably should try to not indulge in it as much as possible. And if you do get that fired up over like, again, people who are a million miles away or you have no idea who the fuck they are. Like, I try to think about a lot of shit too on the aspect of like, there's people that probably I've invited to my house that I've been cool with that don't fuck with me. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like, what me? But it's like I'm gonna sit there and be like, oh, why don't they fuck with me? You know, wherever, just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, because at the end of the day, I really don't like.
Hope you enjoyed your time here. Peace out.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing that I feel like a lot of the younger people and just people in general have an issue with, because they want to know reasons of shit that it won't matter anyway. If they told you the reason, you're not gonna be like, oh, okay,
I'm gonna change my whole thing just so that you can like.
Yeah, so I'm like, the reason doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's happening to you. Yeah. So that's to me where I'm like, if you just remove this shit completely, or just have the mindset of, people are going to be people. There were people who are going to like you, the people who are not going to like you. At the end of the day, go with the people who fuck with you, and it makes life a lot easier. But if you try to like make these people who don't like you, you end up in shitty situations. The whole Devin Haney thing. And what if he would have went out and fucking got his ass knocked out? Because he
almost did. Remember that one round? He was like cleaning up that fight, and that one round he was like wobbling back to the fucking corner.
My point, because now you can't go back on Twitter and they're gonna say, you fucking bum, you got knocked out. That's all. So you're fighting a monster that you can't see, but it's putting you in every bad position possible, right? So that they can end up laughing at you. That's why, to me, Floyd will always be that dude. Because Floyd was the dude who was like, I know every reason why you guys don't like me, and so. Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm not entertaining. You're still gonna pay for it. Oh, I don't have punching power. You're still gonna pay for it. Oh, I fight bums. Hey, you're still gonna pay for it. At the end of the day, you're gonna pay to see me.
That would be a great lesson to teach kids, like, I don't know, kindergarten, right? Probably, or like, I don't know, when they could grasp this concept. I'm still thinking elementary though, and that's what that's for people overseas. That's 1 through 5. You tell them like, hey, like what you just said, some people are gonna like you, some people aren't, and they're just not gonna like you no matter what you do. So accept that throughout your life, and act accordingly.
Yeah, it'll make a lot of shit more easy to deal with, because a lot of kids, I feel like that's why mental health is so like, these issues are so high right now, because so many kids, they don't go through that at all, and then once it hits in middle school, high school, they have no idea how to handle it. Right. And it's like, man, honestly, a lot of the toxic environments that people talk about that produce a lot of bad behavior also doesn't make you tough as fuck. Because from jump, like, fuck, we was getting shitted on from 5, 6, 7. As soon as you went outside, but as soon as you were able to go outside, you might have had a couple friends that were cool with you. Then you might have some kid that would talk shit about you. So, like, fuck him. Then you had some other kids probably didn't fuck with you that much. And that was the world, right? It wasn't like this idea of like, oh, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to have all these friends. Every house I go to, they're going to be like, hey, Dwayne, how you doing? No, it was never like that. So, again, when you...
There's houses I used to ride my bike past, like...
Just flip them off.
But as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, so the idea that, oh, no, these people, there's too much on them at such a young age, they won't be able to comprehend. It's like, no, you comprehend pretty quickly because you understand, hey, that street's fucked up. Don't go down there. All right, cool.
Better at that age because then they could come home. I mean, assuming they have like a good home life or something that could like support system. They come, they tell their parents, whoever, older brother, older sister, and that way with their experience they could be like, hey, look, this is what that means, and you'll be okay. Right,
but once you remove all that shit, and a lot of kids don't go outside anymore either. But when you take away just already the personal aspect of people, kids interacting and shit, you take away the idea of being personable, and you start adding devices and shit, and now in your circle everyone might like you, or at least you think they like you. Then when you go online, you put a comment and some random person from Iowa says fuck you. You're like, what did I say?
Why Iowa?
Why? Is it fuck me? Oh my god, I am ugly. Oh my god, this and that. And
right, I guess I will.
And then it gets to that point.
I'll do it to you too. I know you're not flexible. I'll do it to you.
Oh, you don't know.
I trained for this.
But it gets to that point, you know? And then it sucks because every time I hear that from like kids and shit, I always want to be like, damn, who was around them to tell them this is the world? This is literally what you're dealing with.
But see, I grew up in that world where we didn't have social media, where we didn't have this, where we had parents who didn't overparent.
Right.
That's the problem now. And I catch myself doing a lot. My daughter's, who's 8, she'll be doing something. I'm like, no, let me do it. And I'm like, hold on. Then I start playing it back in my head. I was 8 years old. I was making myself breakfast, scrambled eggs. Like, I knew how to do this. My daughter doesn't even know how to wash a dish. Like, there's some problems here. So I feel like a lot of these issues have come from parents being over-parenting the kids and just...
It's like a little overcorrection.
Yeah, and it's like, I went through the struggles. I don't want my kids to do it. I understand, but not everything in life is a struggle. Some of them are life lessons that they have to learn, or they're going to keep making those same mistakes. And then when you're dead, they're going to be like, I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
You know what? I wish we could all pinpoint a place, like a time in our life where, like, oh, we learned this lesson. That
August 4th, 1992.
Tell the story.
I don't know.
Tell the story. You joked it up.
Sorry. Sorry.
But, you know, it'd be nice to be like, oh, this is the point where I realized none of them didn't like me, and this is how I went about it. But it's, like, all jumbled. And it's just, that's how we are now, and we don't know why, but something happened in our
Thinking
past.
about it, probably was around that time when I moved back east. I was like, what the hell is this?
I'm not a beater.
What are you guys making fun of me for? Why am I getting beat up every day?
I wouldn't be able to pinpoint this shit, but, yeah, man, it sucks. Because I feel like so much stuff would be easier to deal with if people just understood that. But again, it is hard because when the world teaches you that everything's possible, and then when you try to do it, and then you find out that people are going to stop you, or going to not like you for that reason, it's hard to tell a kid like, this is expected. Yeah, people are gonna fucking not fuck with you.
You know what's funny too is that the people that tell you they don't like you. Like, I can't remember exactly when this happened to me, but I remember someone it was at school or something or somewhere, but someone was just like, hey, I don't like you or fuck you or something like that. And I just didn't even say anything, I just put a thumbs up. I was like, cool. All right. And, you know, doing that for some reason got them to like me. And I was just like, either way, they like me or don't. I'm just like, cool.
Yeah.
Don't care. Who are you? Like, you know? Just like, I don't need your fucking approval. Like, you think because you know people that hate like that, they're like this big person. They're probably this big person in their circle. Like, oh, their opinion matters so fucking much to all these people in their circle.
Right.
So when their opinion doesn't, it takes away their power.
Yeah.
And shit, once you take that away from those kind of people, they don't know what to do.
Yeah,